welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a review and tutorial on the new Cherry Crush collection from ColourPop. But I did just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. It really means the world to me whenever you comment nice things on my videos or take the time out of your day to spend 15 minutes with me. That just means so much to me. But I am just going to go ahead and get into these swatches and tutorial on the Cherry Crush collection from ColourPop. And this is what the palette looks like. It just comes in this really pretty pink packaging, and it's got like a big cherry on the front, and it also has the shade names on the back. And I'm just gonna go ahead and open this up, and here's what the palette looks like on the outside. So the same packaging as the package it came in, and then here is what the colors look like. It's a super pretty monochromatic palette. It is mostly pinky tones. Some of them do pull a little bit red, but I would say this is more of a pink tone palette, with the exception of a couple of like darker plummier shades. And I also did get this ColourPop Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Stain, and this is actually a new product from ColourPop, which is kind of exciting because I feel like a lot of times they come out with similar products and it's just like same stuff, new packaging. But here is the packaging. I think it looks really cute with the cherry on top, and then it's this reddish shade. I am just gonna start by kind of just swatching this. Ooh, and it's this really pretty like red color, and it does look like it is pretty glossy. And the color I got it in is Double Cherry. I know they came out with two colors, but they looked really similar to me, so I did just want to pick up one of the colors, because I did also buy quite a bit of red lip products when I was up in the city, so I thought I would just get this one. I bought a couple red lip products when I was up in the cities because they actually have a MAC cosmetics store up there, so I bought quite a couple of new things from there. And I'm just going to go ahead and get into the swatches of the eyeshadow palette now. Okay, and I did just want to go ahead and get into the swatches of the eyeshadow palette, and here's what it looks like. And we're gonna start off with the first shade, which is called Sweet Like, and ooh, it's this really pretty, like, it's bright, it's almost bright pink with a lot of sparkle. I really like that. That would look so pretty all over the lid. And here we have Sea Rise. I hope I'm, and it's just this really pretty like matte pinky color. Ooh, I really like that. And the last shade is, we have this shade called Cherry Stem. This one kind of almost seems a little bit patchy. And the next shade is called Tie a Knot, and it's another really pretty sparkly shade. Ooh, I really like that one too. It's got a lot of sparkle to it as well. And the next shade is called Very Cherry. And I don't know, this one kind of seems a little patchy. I don't know how I feel about that one. And the next one is called Juicy Juicy. And next we have this matte shade called Scarlet. I don't know, it kind of seems a little patchy. It might just be the way it's coming off on camera, but it does look slightly patchy. And the next one we have is this shade called Black Cherry. And the last shade in the palette is called Take a Bite, and this is the darkest shade in the palette. It is like a really like purpley, plummy kind of shade, and I really like that. I think it would be great for deepening out the outer V. But these are all the shades that are in the Cherry Crush palette. Okay, and now I'm going to get into the comparison of the palette to some other palettes by ColourPop that have been said to be kind of like similar. Main Squeeze is said to be very, very similar. Like, a lot of people online say it is pretty similar to the Cherry Crush palette, and I do have this palette, and some of these shades that I think are similar is the Home Slice shade. I think is pretty similar to the Very Cherry. I mean, this one is matte with a little bit of sparkle, but it is very, very similar in tone. And then it just also has a lot of like really reddish pinky tones in here, which I do think is kind of similar, but I think the shades, the shimmers in the Cherry Crush palette are different than the shimmers in this palette. They kind of have their own thing going on. Like, I'm just gonna swatch the shades that I thought were similar. This is the Maraschino from the Main Squeeze palette, and it is almost got like some peachiness to it, like a peachy pink tone. And then the one that I thought was similar is this Sweet Like shade, and I'm just gonna, like, you can tell, like, they look similar in the pan, but the Sweet Like shade is a lot more bright and it has a lot more shimmer in it. And then another shade I thought was similar was the Take a Bite and Red Bottom. So I'm just going to swatch those next to each other. Then this is Red Bottom from the Main Squeeze palette. And then here is the Take a Bite from the Cherry Crush. This is a lot more purpley than the one in the Main Squeeze palette. And here is the Strawberry Shake palette. This has been compared a lot to the Cherry Crush palette, but I think this is a lot different. See, it's got like these goldeny peachy tones, and then it's got the lighter pinks. I mean, it does have some red tones in it, but I think this one is a lot different just because it's not super monochromatic. It has like it has a variety. Like on the top row you have those lighter pinks that would be more for everyday wear, and then you have like the hot pink matte with some sparkle in the middle, and then you have that one red shade. I think this is kind of very different. I don't know why it's getting compared to the Cherry Crush palette. I think it has a lot of different tones in it. It definitely is not a monochromatic palette. And now I'm just going to get into the tutorial portion of this video. And I'm going to start by priming my eyelids with this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. And I will say one thing about the palette. I do kind of wish there were some like more matte, like mid-tone transition shades in it. I just feel with like these darker like pinks, it could be really helpful to have like a transition shade in it, especially if you were going to take this traveling. It could just be really helpful to help blend out the eyeshadow. But for the sake of this video, I am only going to use this palette because we're reviewing the palette. But what I'm going to do is first go in with this shade Cerise, and I'm just going to go in with a light hand and tap off any excess. And just do windshield wiper motions and go back and forth. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And I really like this color Cerise. Just do a little bit more. And then I'm going to go in with this shade Scarlet just to add a little bit more like pink to the look, because it looks like this one pulls a little bit more pink. And then in like the outer V area, I'm going to apply this shade called Black Cherry. And I'm just going to go in with a clean blending brush, and I'm just going to go in and blend these shades out. Just to kind of try to get rid of any harsh lines and really soften up the look. Yeah, I definitely think it would be helpful to have like some lighter transition shades in here, like 1 or 2, but I understand why they didn't do that, because they wanted to keep it like fairly like cherry themed, which I totally get. And now I'm just gonna go in with this Sweet Like shade, and I am going to spray my brush with some of this priming water. Whoops, I got too much. And I'm gonna go into the shade Sweet Like. I think this is my favorite shade in the entire palette. It's just so pretty. Oh yeah, that is definitely a super pretty like pink tone shade. I love that. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of go back in with this Scarlet shade to just kind of deepen the crease back up just a little bit. And what I think I'm gonna do with just like a definer brush, I'm gonna go in with this Take a Bite shade and just add a little bit of this into the outer areas. And then what I'm gonna do is just go in with a clean blending brush and kind of blend that darker shade out. And what I'm gonna do is I am just going to go in with some mascara. I am going to be applying some false lashes. So I think what I'm gonna do is just quickly kind of go in and apply some false lashes. But first, let's put a little bit of mascara on. This is just gonna help kind of blend those together. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of clean up my eyeshadow a little bit and put on some falsies, and I will be right back. Okay, so I am back and we have lashes and liner on. I just feel like it needed a little bit lashes to kind of bring the look together since the eyes are so dramatic. And I am just gonna go ahead and put this Fresh Kiss glossy lip stain on. It's a very nice cherry red. See what I did there? They are very glossy when you first put them on the lips. I'm just gonna kind of wait a second and see if they set down, because I know some lip stains will set down a little bit and won't be so glossy. Normally I would use a red lip liner, but I don't have any from ColourPop, and I did want to keep all of the products kind of in the same family, so I did not line my lips at all. Okay, so it has been a minute or so since I put on the Fresh Kiss glossy lip stain, and it has kind of set down a little bit. It isn't quite as glossy. Once it sets down, it isn't matte, but it sets down a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is just use this little like smudger brush, and I'm just gonna go in and put some of Black Cherry and Take a Bite on the lower lash line to kind of smoke it out a little bit. Just to kind of bring the look together, because I think it looks kind of weird when you have a super dramatic look and your lash line is just like completely bare. And what I'm gonna do is take the other side of the brush and go into Take a Bite. I'm just gonna use a little tiny amount, because I know this is like really pigmented. And overall, my thoughts on the palette is I really do like it. I think it has a lot of really fun shades in it. If you like pinkish reddish tones, I love those kind of tones, so this was kind of like right up my alley. I really wanted to get it. And my favorite shade in the entire palette is Sweet Like. I just think it is a super pretty pink sparkly shade. It definitely is not like an everyday palette though, because I mean it doesn't have any transition shades and it is more like brighter pinks. So, and I feel like this did kind of help me step out of my comfort zone, because I normally wouldn't wear a pink eye with a red lip. This is just not something I would normally just pick out to do on my own, but I do like the way it turned out. I think the lashes definitely help bring the look together. And if you're wondering what lashes I'm wearing, they are one of the Ardell ones, but I will have them listed in the down bar for you. And if you have any questions about any of other face products that are on my face, everything else will be listed in the down bar as usual. But I do want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video and hang out with me, and I will see you in my next video. And like, comment, and subscribe so we can stay friends here on YouTube, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks, bye.